What's up, guys? Caleb Brooks here with Average Joe Sports Talk, joined by some members of the Parker High School football team, Cantrell Drakes and Khalifa Keith. And for you guys, man, this is the week and today's the day. I mean, full pads are going to get on for the first time. I know y'all went shells yesterday, but you're going to get full pads. You're going to be hitting each other. Just kind of describe to me how exciting that really is for you guys to finally get the pads on and know that, the 2022 football season is really here.
Oh, man, it feels good. We're coming out. We're just putting in all the work, working hard. We're gonna give each other a pop. We're just trying our best to keep all of each other healthy and things like that. We're gonna save all the good hint for the other teams.
I feel good about it. We put in a lot of work this summer, so it's a good time for us. To get back in pass and get football back. So we excited about that, and we just bonding as a team, and we looking forward to it.
Tell me a little bit about 7-on-7s, this year, and how you feel like that y'all are able to go perform in that, and what can y'all take from that and kind of carry over now into this preseason for y'all?
Coming into 7-on-7s, we got closer as brotherhood. We all came in as just one, but we all left the summer as together as brothers. We're closer than ever, And I'm kind of glad we had those 7-on-7s. It showed us that we needed to work hard and what we needed to work on.
Yeah, based on what my brother said, it brought us together as a team. Like you said, everybody came in as one, but we got together. We worked hard, and we took a lot from it. We just ready for the season start.
What do you kind of do during 7-on-7s? Like, are y'all working on you catching balls out of the backfield, or like what is kind of your role when you're out there for those?
I do a little catching the ball. Some ain't really my strongest, but I still participate. I'm a team player. But I just work on my hands, my feet work, because I'm going to have to catch the ball eventually. So I just work on that. That's about it.
So you're probably a little bit more excited about today, getting some pads on and getting to run the football and have some guys hit you and stuff.
Oh yeah. I'm very excited. I ain't felt contact in a minute. I love contact, so I'm ready for it.
Tell me a little bit about this wide receiver group this year for you guys. I mean, are there some new faces that you guys are going to have to count on to kind of step up, or are there some old faces coming back? I mean, just tell me a little bit about this group for you guys.
We have a couple new faces on our receiving core. Our receiving core is very strong. We're close together we're a brotherhood, and we're just working on getting better. We're working on our blocking, our catching. We're just trying to do everything we can to help each other win. We do have a couple new faces, Cedric and Gerald. They all just came in. They're helping our team real good.
Obviously, you guys they're going to throw the ball around some, but when you got him to hand the ball off to, you brought up blocking. I mean, is blocking something that is really emphasized a lot to you guys out there? And you guys understanding that y'all could be the block that really is able to, get him 60 yards for a touchdown.
Yes, sir. My receivers coach is real big on blocking. They say you can't get recruited if you don't block. So us and our receiving core, we're taking blocking real serious to get him his touchdowns or whatever, man. We're really excited for this year.
When you talk about all that type of stuff, when you guys do throw the ball, does that make those opportunities even more important for you guys? Making those catches and taking the most of those opportunities when you guys do decide to put the ball in the air?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's 100% true. When him running the ball, I feel like that is going to open up our catching ability, and passing plays open 100% more. So we're just waiting on our numbers to be called. All of us just playing our parts to help the team out,
For you, first thing I noticed when you walked in, I was like, he's got a little bigger than when I saw him last November. You put on some good weight, and it, was part of that in thinking, hey, I know that they're going to be counting on me, and, I'm going to be looked at to get, 25 to 30 carries per game. So did you feel like I need to put on some muscle to be able to take on some more hits and be able to carry the load?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I worked really hard this offseason, especially, training with my brothers and everything. But I know, it's going to be a season like last year. I'm just going to put myself prepared for it. There's no pressure. It's just me going out there being the best player I can be, the best athlete I can be. I'm going to do me at the end of the day.
Tell me a little bit about the college attention that you've been receiving. When you're getting these calls from coaches and you've got these guys hitting you up, how do you balance being focused on this season but also worrying about, where you're going to go play in the future as well?
Well, I mean, I really don't. I let the future take care of itself. I'm worried about the now. I mean, the attention is good and all, but I still got. I'm still in high school. I still got a bunch of games to play, a lot of football to be played, and I'm worried about this upcoming season. The rest to take care of itself in the future.
Obviously, Jeremiah's been blowing up too and been getting calls. Is it fun? You have a couple other guys that are getting recruited and everything. Is it fun to have other guys that you can kind of relate to with this, and you're just not alone in this recruiting process and all that?
Oh yeah, they some good players. We talk about it a lot, 24/7. We that's the fun side about it, especially if you got teammates on your team that got all these big time offers and stuff like that. So we talk about it a lot. But at the end of the day, we focus on football and we focus on the main goal, and that's to win a championship.
How important is your role as a leader with this wide receiver group this year? Being a guy that some of the younger guys can look up to and that guys can kind of learn stuff from.
Oh yes, sir. Going into my senior season, Coach Warren is real big on being a role model for the younger guys. They look up to everything we do. Anything I do, they're going to do. So when the younger guys see me slacking, they're gonna slack, and I'm real big on not doing any of that. Just doing whatever I can to help the team out.
For both of y'all, is there a little bit of a chip on this team's shoulder with making this move up to 6A this year and kind of feeling like y'all maybe have something to prove moving up in a classification?
Yes, sir. I feel like it's a chip on our shoulder, but we're going to remain humble, and we're just going to take one game at a time. We're trying to play our way into December.
Like my brother said, we got a chip on our shoulder, but it don't, it really don't phase us as much. Like you said, we're going to take it one game at a time. We're going to go out there, play Parker football every game, and the results will be the results at the end.
How important do y'all feel like the postseason experience y'all gained over the last couple of years, how important can that be for this year's team?
The postseason, we had a lot of guys come in and help us work out. We had a lot of nutritions delivered to us. It's a blessing to see how everybody's watching us and just caring for us. And they're just looking out for us. So we're working hard to make them proud, So we're just doing everything we can and just trying to be a better team.
Yeah, we had a lot of people come in this summer, work with us with speed and keeping our nutrition up and giving us sandwich meat so we can make sandwiches. And the team just so thankful for that, But we it was good. It was good.
What are y'all's keys to this year? What is offense going to really have to do well week in and week out to be successful?
We're going to have to go hard every play, every down. We're not going to have to take anyone lightly. We're going to have to take everyone the same. And we're just going to run the ball, Khalifa.
For me, no plays off. We can't take any plays off. We can't take any teams for granted. Like I said, we just got to go out there, not try to do too much, play Parker football, and, the results will be the results at the end.
Guys, listen, I appreciate y'all taking time to sit down with me, and good luck to y'all. Really, really looking forward to seeing how the season goes for y'all.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
What's going on, guys? Caleb Brooks with Average Joe's Sports Talk, joined by some members here of the Parker football team, Monte Henley, Jeremiah Beeman here. And, for you guys, this is a program that has been on the rise the last couple of years just with what y'all have done, the consistency that y'all have put together. And there's now a lot of expectations that have been built around this program. And so going into this year now, is there a little bit more pressure on this team with, not only the success that y'all have had in the past and people having those expectations, but also making this move up to 6A this year as well?
I wouldn't say it's a big expectation, but if we just listen to our coach and just follow what he said, we'll be good.
I wouldn't say expectation. I say we got goals to meet and we got certain standards you want to meet. So, once we listen to coach and just do what they say on a day-to-day basis consistently, we'll be good.
Obviously, last season didn't end the way that you guys wanted it to there in round number 3. And so what has that done for the motivation for this group? And what have y'all seen from a motivational standpoint all offseason from this team?
This season, it just say, don't take nobody for granted and just finish all the way through.
Yeah, we definitely got to finish. Like, last year we finished second round. We finished the third round. We want to go far. We want to go very, very, very farther than that.
What have y'all liked about this group when y'all seen them working out and stuff so far this summer? Like, what gives you a lot of encouragement going into the season about what this team can accomplish?
This season, they're very disciplined. And, they just, from the first day they came in, they just been ready to work.
Yeah, I think the work ethic definitely changes. Like, the whole expectation coach has for us. Like, our work ethic is crazy. As long as we push each other and we got our brothers back, like we expect them to have ours, we'll be good.
One of the things that Coach Warren brought up when I was talking to him, said, what are your keys? And he kind of talked about our team staying focused, not paying attention to outside noise and worrying about what's on social media, and also how important is that y'all have to talk to each other about that? Hey, put that down. Like, get off Twitter. Like, don't worry about what that person says. That's something that y'all have to talk about as a group sometimes.
Yeah, we do.
Sometimes, but not really, because our team, they know to stay focused. So,
Well, we don't really get too much into social media. We just let our actions show on the field. If something was to happen like that, we'll text in the team group chat, tell them we ain't got to worry about it. We'll see them on the field.
Obviously, the school's right here, right in the middle of downtown Birmingham and everything. Do y'all take a lot of pride in, hey, we're representing Birmingham, the city of Birmingham, and with everything that we do here?
well, no doubt.
Gotta have a lot of integrity.
What are y'all kind of looking forward to most about this season? With making this move up in classification, new teams in the region and all that, what are y'all kind of looking forward to the most about all that?
I'll say the competition and like how much more we'll I don't know the word I want to say. How much more exposure we'll get as a team.
Yeah, I'm going to go back off what my brother just said.
We had Khalifa and them in here just a minute ago, and they kept talking about, like my brother said, you just kind of talked about what my brother said. Is that something that y'all really tried to make an importance of, hey, view everybody like they're your brother, and we are a family here, and we're going to have each other's back no matter what?
All of the family. Don't matter from the trainers, the coaches, we all family. That's just how we are.
So you still foot in park, your family?
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you look at the early part of the season for you guys, Fairfield, Ramsey to start out with, how important are those games? Those are other schools that are right here in Birmingham, and so, we talked about representing the city of Birmingham and all that. Those games really mean a little bit more than some of the others because of them being in close proximity and being kind of rivalry games for you guys?
Yeah. I definitely say it is.
Well, I'll just say every game, really. Yeah, it's not really no big game. We just look forward to every game.
Exactly.
Does this team have a chip on their shoulder going into this year with that move up to 6A and everything?
Definitely. I think we have a target on our back. We want the target on our back so we can meet our circumstances and our expectations.
Tell me a little bit of, we had Khalifa in here, and y'all have to go up against him in practice and everything. And how much better does that make y'all as a defense? Y'all are having to tackle the best running back in the state every single day. And so how much does that kind of improve y'all as a whole entire unit?
This year, well, he can hit them holes, so
Yeah.
you got to come with it.
You got to, if you want to tackle Khalifa, you got to bring the pain to him. So he's making us better, but we're getting better as a team as well. Like, he hitting his holes. Sometimes he'll have a busted, but sometimes we'll break the play up. Next play, he'll come back and bust it. He just is a good running back all the world.
Especially for you, playing the safety position and everything, it's got to be really good for you that you're seeing that coming at you. There's not many other running backs going to be that size coming through the hole that you're going to face this year. And so that has to help out a lot. And it's got to help from even a confidence standpoint of, hey, if I can take this guy on in practice, then I can go take on anybody.
I'm like, definitely. I would definitely. If you can talk Khalifa, you can talk to anybody. Yeah.
And for you guys, he's getting, college looks and all that. You guys are obviously getting attention and stuff. How fun is that to have other people on this team that y'all can kind of relate in those experiences and talk to about? And, like, you're not alone in that process of talking to all these coaches and stuff.
I feel like we all can talk about like what school did this, what school did that. I think we all can come together and just be like, what you think about this school, what you think about that school. I think we all come together and just talk like amongst each other. It's a couple of guys on the team getting looked at a lot. So
same for you.
Same.
Yeah. So looking at today with the pads on and everything, talked about like thudding up and everything yesterday, but just what kind of excitement does it give you guys to put on the pads and know, hey, we're going to get to really go play real football for the first time since spring ball?
I don't know. It's going to feel good.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
I would say it's exciting, very exciting. You get to tackle the person, not a man that you hit. You can tackle them, so they know they didn't score. Like yesterday, we just stood up, had to let them go there run. Nah, you finna get brought to the ground.
Looking at this defense for this year, Coach Warren bragged on this group and what this group can be and everything. What makes y'all think that this can be the best defense in the state this year?
Just like I said, they're very disciplined. So
I think
we really don't have any flaws. So
I really think that we're a very disciplined defense. We're technique sound, and I think that the leadership that we have just amongst the young guys and everything, I think we're going to be good. We'll be a very good team. We can be.
Tell me about, you guys up front on the defensive line and what you like about that group.
Oh, I love my defensive line group. I feel like all of my brothers, older brother, little brothers, I just treat them all the same. Like we all, once we get on the field, we all locked in. We know what to do. We know our job. They don't know this. I tell them. I let them know what the play is, everything. Because I've been playing for 3 years, so I know all the play calls and everything. So it's just fun experience, especially with the group we got this year.
What about secondary? I mean, what do you really enjoy about the secondary group?
Secondary, I just treat them like they're my little brothers because since I'm the oldest on the group, so I gotta lead by example. I tell them the strength, what to line up at. So yeah, it's just been very fun. Yeah.
What are y'all's biggest keys for being successful on the defensive side, week in and week out this year?
No days off.
Yeah, you gotta take no days off. Can't take nobody for granted. Every game we gotta go in with a target on our back.
Guys, listen, appreciate y'all taking time to sit down with us, and good luck to you guys this year. Really looking forward to seeing how the season goes.
Thank you.
What's going on, guys? Caleb Brooks with Average Joe's Sports Talk. We're here at Parker High School. I'm joined by head football coach, Coach Frank Warren. And, Coach, I was lucky enough to come by and talk with you guys earlier this summer, back when I was doing stuff for the radio network. And now it's the week. You guys are going to get the pads on. You're going to go full pads for the first time today. And football season's here. I mean, it's really crazy to think about. And kind of tell me about this summer for you guys. Coming off of last year, obviously a really good season for you guys, able to build a lot of momentum. What did you see kind of carry over into this summer that really gives you a lot of encouragement about this team coming up this year?
Oh, it's been a busy summer. We had a couple of passing camps we did. The kids worked hard this summer, to be honest with you. We jumping up to 6A this year, so it's going to be a lot different than 5A. And we're trying to build on something we did last year. We got the players and coaches to do it. It's just a transition. It'll be a big transition, but I think we'll be prepared for it.
You talk about making that jump up to 6A, and the talk last year was you and your cousin facing off against each other, and it almost happened in the fourth round and all that. Are you a little happy that even though y'all going to play against each other, it's not going to mean as much as it probably would have meant last year for both of your teams?
Yeah, that's kind of funny. We always joke about it. How we really played this year, nobody really wanted to play us, so it was like, hey, nobody want to play. We had to play each other again. But it's a good friendly rival. We don't play each other. We talk to each other every week and throw some ideas against each other. Man, he's probably one of the best minds in high school football. So there's a lot to learn from him, and vice versa. So it's a pretty fun rival.
How special is that too? Like when you think back, y'all growing up together, being around each other all the time, and when y'all both decided to be coaches, you obviously dream of being really successful. It's got to be really cool to be really successful at the same time, and almost having a game that would have been a really, really crazy game in the semifinals this past year.
It kind of interesting, man. We both played college football, and we got into the profession probably around the same time. He's a little older, and we always used to have ideas bouncing against each other, like, hey, we get a job, this happens, I'll do this, and so it came true. Like we spoke to existence. It's something we both trying to build. He probably got his program where he want to get over the top, and I'm trying to get where I'm playing for championship every year, so that's a good thing.
When you look at this program here, obviously when you took it over a couple of years ago, it's not that this program had been bad, but it just wasn't really being consistent. And so what has allowed you now over the last couple of years to really get some consistency here with what y'all been able to do?
I took over for the legendary Coach Rob. He actually recruited me at Grambling. He actually brought me back a year before he retired to take over, just getting student participation. Different. It ain't nothing he did wrong. I kind of put a little juice back into the program, getting kids involved, keeping kids in the city. That's the most important thing, is you get a product, you have good kids, and surround them with a great man. Our motto, we coach them hard, love them harder. And now what I build over here, I have high expectations. Like, kids not gonna rise to no low expectation. They're gonna rise always to the high. So that's what we're trying to build over here.
Everybody can probably hear, your team in the workout room right now, and you're about to go out and practice in full pads, but you're still in there working out. That has to speak a little bit to how important y'all really feel like the weight room is here, building strength and all that. And kind of tell me about how y'all treat during the season, working out, doing all that, and trying to keep these guys rested, but also keep their bodies up and keep them getting stronger throughout the year.
Man, I'm trying to build kind of like a college program I played college football at Grambling, D1 level. So during camp, man, we grind. It's a grind right now. We getting in and trying to get these kids ready, and the weight room is important. It's important to anything you do. Get you strong and fast and keep the injuries off you. So they know it's grind time right now. We're gonna get there when they'll be happy to hit somebody else. I'll say that.
And making the move up to 6A, does that put even more of an emphasis on building up strength this year and what you guys do in the weight room?
It's still consistent. I got a great strength and conditioning coach, Miles McKee. So I don't think we have to be we 6A got to get more. We already kind of strong team, not just to say that, but I think it's more just building depth now, 5 to 6A. Not so much a lot of kids going both sides, but at the same time, your best players got to play on the field, and we got to get them prepared for that.
You feel like this team has a chip on their shoulder with the move up to 6A this year?
Yeah. I think this season right here for me is personal. For a lot of reasons, chip on the shoulders, then, a lot of folks down us coming up to 5A to 6A, I feel it's a challenge for us and it's a challenge for our kids. My kids are excited about it. Like I told you earlier, before the summer started, I don't think they know what's really going on. They just want to play football. They're playing against, local teams. We still around the local. So we still keeping some of the same rivals in 5A with our open schedule with our non-region games. So I think it's a chip on the shoulder for us.
When you look at this team, what do you kind of feel like is going to be the strength going into this year for you guys?
Defensively, I got some of the top defensive linemen in the state. And probably, I always going to say, best running back. And got a young kid, in the league that's going to be good. So I'm going to be relying on the defense early, probably often through the year. I think we probably have one of the best in the state on the defense. And just pound the ground, man. That's a recipe. We play good football, play good defense, and run the football. I think we got a good recipe to be successful.
You bring up the defensive line and then obviously running back. Talk a little bit about Jeremiah Beeman and him blowing up now the way that he kind of has, and then also Khalifa Keith. Him being as good as he was last year, but now also returning to this team and what that really does for this group.
Beeman is probably one of the special kids I had after my first year here. He was in 9th grade, and just to see him develop to where he come from, where he was at. I knew he was going to be good. I always told him he was going to be special. He had to sit behind his Ole Miss commit. His 9th grade year, he probably could have played if he was anywhere else. But him to work hard, he still works hard. He dominates at practice every day, man. That's his testament to how hard he worked. And also, got a young D lineman, Jordan Crawford, just came from jail. Moved in for us. I think he'd probably be the best player in the state in the 25 class. And also, Naheem Alford, 25 kid also, he got that. He kind of reminded me of Kool-Aid when he was that age. So that's why the defense probably be special. And can't say too much about Khalifa Keith. He's a special kid. He's a grown man. He's a little kid. He's a grown man, a little kid in high school. So that shows a lot about him, how he works hard, the way he's been through. Just keep his mind focused on what he needs to go.
What makes him so good running the football? Like when you watch him on film and stuff, what is it that makes him a special running back and makes him the best running back in this state?
I think his vision, him being the size he is, probably 223, he rarely get caught. And that's special. Like I tell people all the time, he probably run a high 4.5, 4.6, but when he playing in the field, you never see him get caught when he breaks him on distance. And he run behind his pads. He still was raw at it, at that position, because he was played quarterback his 9th grade year. Really played quarterback and played Mike. So this running back position just became to him. He's still raw at it, but you see the potential he's going to have. And this year, like yesterday in Shells, he had made a run, a cut that I've been telling him to do, and he caught on to it. I was like, if you catch on to that, every day is going to be a problem. So him, just his work ethic and humbleness is going to take him far.
That's to speak a little bit too. We're in a day and age where, he could have wanted to play quarterback, and if you weren't going to give him that chance, I'll go find another school that will let him play quarterback. But instead, he stuck it out here. He's now made that transition over to running back, and then, like we've talked about, he is the best running back in the state going into this year.
Yeah, and just to him, he's a selfless player. He'd probably be honest, he could probably be number 1 linebacker in the state if he could, if he wanted to play over there. But him just being tough, I think about the long run, him just kid trying to tackle him every play, it's going to be hard. And not being cocky about it, I always just said it, just what I believe in when I saw him. He's the best running back in the state.
You know, you talk about if he wanted to play over there, we would play him over there and all that type of stuff. But you have the luxury of not having to play guys both ways and making the move up to 6A. Now, how important is that to have that type of depth and have it where you don't have guys on the field throughout the whole entire fourth quarter?
Man, that was the big part of me when I got this job. Creating kids, keeping kids home, not going outside the city where, you know, you can stay home and play. Now we got depth to hang with certain teams. And I got a roster full of kids that can play. And it's a joy coaching these kids every day. They do what I ask. And, you know, so that's all you can ask for as a coach.
You guys are going to scrimmage tomorrow night and stuff, and when you're in these early scrimmages in the season, what do you look for in those type of situations? What do you want to see from your group?
I compete. That's what I say every day. Compete, fellas, and do your job. I actually stole that from Nick Saban. It's kind of funny, you know. He's probably the best head coach in college football. He is, and that's all you really hear him tell the kids: do your job. And me, just personally, as simple as he said. It's right. Just do your job. Worry about yourself. It's doing what you're supposed to do and knowing. And letting see the kids really knowing what they're doing on the scrimmage, us hands off as coaches. They're really out there by themselves, kind of game type atmosphere and see how they react to it. And just competing. That's the biggest part because I'm like me, I'm more of a competitor. That's what I am. I want to take the attitude of me. I don't like to lose in anything. Cards, Madden, anything, man. We could be playing tic-tac-toe. It's just taking that competitive spirit into the boys, and now we can compete with anybody. So that's my biggest thing on the scrimmage.
What's the toughest part in this part of the season of balancing, wanting to be physical? You know, obviously you want to see your guys get after it in practice and be physical with each other, but y'all obviously don't want to be too physical and have your guys hurt or, you know, banged up going into the season. So what's the toughest part of trying to balance that in the preseason?
That's real tough. I say that's the most, as a head coach, that's what I worry about the most. You know, but it's football. Things happen, but we tell each other, protect your teammate. No cheap shots. We actually kind of throw it at practice without scrimmaging and wrap up. Don't try to break them down, but sometimes it's football. Stuff happens. But that's the most thing about scrimmages, man. You just hope, you know, no injuries, which is not going to happen. I speak that on that. It's not going to happen. But at the same time, you know, that's what you worry about as a head coach. Getting good work in, being physical, but at the same time, protecting your teammate.
That's another thing, too, that's been a tough balance. You talk about thudding up and not taking guys to the ground, but then we've also seen guys have gotten worse at tackling over the last. And so trying to find that balance of, you know, hey, we're not trying to hurt our offensive players, but our defense guys need to work at tackling and need to work at being able to do that so that they can do it in a game. And that's got to be a tough thing to try to balance.
It is. Well. It kind of caught us a couple of years, you know, toward the beginning of the year was missing a lot of tackles. It goes to what you're going to give and take. But, you know, we do some little tough man drills together. Like, hey, man, you just got to. You do so many drills with the dummies and bad, but it's different when somebody 230 pounds running at you full speed. You gotta move your feet and run and drive through the man.
What are your biggest keys for this year? What is this team going to really need to do well week in and week out?
Focus. Being focused on the opponent, task at hand. Never look ahead. And, you know, staying off the internet. Don't listen to what people are thinking about you, what they're saying about you. Just come right here and work. People in this room, these your brothers, the coaches, this is what you need to listen to. Don't listen to the outside noise. And I think it just, you know, focus. That's the team goal this year. Just focus on the task at hand.
Coach, appreciate you taking time to sit down with us, allowing us to come in and talk with your guys. And we wish you guys nothing but love. We're really looking forward to seeing how the season.
Appreciate you, man.